Hey, what's going on, Gerald?
What's going on, David, man?
Question for you. Sometimes I get this question. People will ask me, what is my favorite social media platform? Do I like Facebook? Do I like Tumblr? Do I like Twitter? Do I like YouTube? And my answer is always the same: yes. I like them all. You know, they all work. Everybody is on everything. I mean, who out there has one social media platform and that's all they use? You know anybody?
No, nobody uses just one, because they all serve a different function. Now the thing is, where you spend your time or what you call home is most important, though, because there are certain platforms that work better for certain people, and where your clients hang out is most important, even more so than what you like, because that's how you're going to be able to grow your business.
We talked a little bit last night about, you and I talked a little bit last night about LinkedIn. And if you're a business-to-business, B2B, why do you like LinkedIn so much?
I think for LinkedIn, it's just because if you're B2B, it's prospecting. You have all the decision makers. You have all of their information right at your fingertips, versus the old way where you had to cold call, try to figure out who ran what. Everything's listed there for you. You find out who their admins are, who they're connected to, and it's a lot easier to prospect that way for how you're going to connect with who you need to connect to.
How much information's on there? I mean, is there like a cell phone number? Is there?
No. It's not quite a cell phone number, but you get all the information of their title. You get all the information of what their duties are there, so you know who the true decision maker is. You get their connections to usually their executive assistants.
Yeah.
And that's an end that a lot of people overlook.
The gatekeeper.
You need the gatekeeper, because trying to reach out to the C-level right away, you know how that usually ends up.
How many times do you talk to a lot of people at E-level? E-level is the employee, the gatekeeper. You know,
right.
Nothing wrong with E-level. Love E-level, but you spend a lot of time communicating with E-level.
My suggestion is yes, if you want to get in the door, because that's who you're going to have to go through. Even when you reach the C-level, they always going to refer you to who? Call my assistant.
My assistant.
You know, so the thing is that you want to establish those relationships and treat those people like people.
I'll tell you a funny story. My media guy, Mitchell, we do all the videos to a great media guy, best in the world, in my opinion. One of the best in the world. Love this guy. Makes great videos for us. We've been trying to get a hold of Jeff Vinnick. Jeff Vinnick owns the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Oh, okay.
And he owns a small percentage of the Boston Red Sox. Mm-hmm. And he's bought up like 30 acres of downtown Tampa, you know, and he's just been really instrumental in getting a lot of businesses in there and programs in there. And now USF Medical is now in Channelside District in Tampa, and it's all because of Jeff. And so I've been trying to land Jeff as a client. And speaking of the gatekeeper, I call the secretary. I know who she is. Call the secretary, but she defers me to somebody else. She goes, "Oh, you need to call the PR person." I call the PR person. You know what he says? "Why'd she send you to me? She's the one that..." I'm like, man, she's giving me the runaround.
Yeah.
So I call her back. I said, "Hey, you know as well as I do, you're the gatekeeper." She goes, "I didn't think you'd call back, though." It's just like the runaround. Hey, I didn't tell you this. It's a true story. True story. But how do you make the gatekeeper your ally?
See, well, again, I have a very simple model: treat people like people. And the thing is that a lot of people try to overlook or undermine what the gatekeeper does. Well, I'm just trying to speak to your boss. No. Get in there. Get to know them. Establish a connection with them first. You know, play the game, connect the dots. A lot of people forget about connect the dots. You know, you start with them, you talk to them, you cultivate a relationship with them. Say, hey, you know, one day, why don't I take you out to lunch? Make them feel comfortable. Make them love you, and they'll in turn make their bosses love you.
I'm extremely persistent. There was one company that I called on for 6 months. The DOT, Department of Transportation and Highway Safety, very difficult to get in there. Tons of, it was going to be a very lucrative contract for us. I knew what their budget was because I had talked to somebody else who worked there. And And so I called, and I found out who the person that makes the decision was, and I called his secretary, his administrative assistant. Now, this is a crazy gatekeeper. The first time I called her, I said, let me talk to Terry. Can you patch me through to Terry? She goes, nope, not going to happen. And I said, well, is he busy? She goes, he's always busy, and every time you call, he's going to be in a meeting. That's what she said, as a matter of fact. And I said, all right, I'll call you back. And she goes, don't bother. I called her back the next week. I said, hey, it's Dave again, just checking in. And, and I said, let me talk to Terry. She goes, look, I told you last week. I said, I know you told me last week, but it's a new week, baby. It's a new week. And she goes, listen, even if I did patch you through, he's just going to shut you down. I said, well, let me get shut down then. She goes, okay. She patches me through. Terry speaking. Hi, Terry. I'm Dave Conigliaro. I need 10 minutes of your time. I just want to come in. He goes, look, I don't have 10 minutes. I said, great. All I need is 5. And he says, I don't even have 5. I said, well, that's fine, man, because I can do this pitch in about 3 minutes. He goes, look, I'm not interested. I called this guy every week for 6 months. In fact, I missed a week on the last week. And it was funny. He says to me, finally, at the last week that I called, he said to me, what happened to you, Dave? I didn't hear from you last week. And after all these phone calls. Right. And so we laughed about it. And he says, you know what? You got the job. Anybody as persistent as you are, I know you're going to do a great job. The rest is just the details with the numbers. And we got the contract. Everyone said anybody would have gave up. Everybody probably would have gave up. Most people would give up. But you got to be persistent.
See, but that is the difference between people that are successful and people that struggle. Most people that struggle, they find no to be a barrier. Most people that are successful find no to be a challenge. Oh, you told me no? Really? Okay, I can appreciate that. And you keep coming. And tenacity, nothing can ever replace tenacity.
Nothing can replace tenacity or hard work. We talked about this last night. Quick question. This is a philosophical question, but I think it's also at a practical level too. That's why I like it so much. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron James. They're all considered. They're going to be in the top 3 when this is all said and done. Kobe deserves to be at the same lunch table as Michael Jordan and Magic, easily. Is Kobe Bryant as good as we think he is because he really is that good? Or do we think he's that good just because the other players are average players and this guy, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, they just work a little bit harder? I mean...
like we talked about last night, I just believe that, truthfully, some people have great talent, but when you have great talent plus hard work, it's unstoppable. And that's what these guys had. They had great talent, but they didn't rest on their laurels.
Right.
And there's nothing more uncommon than unsuccessful, talented people.
Man, say that again.
There's nothing more common than unsuccessful, talented people.
You got to work. Talent can never overshadow work. You got to grind. You got to grind. You got to hustle. You got to push.
Yep.
You got to dominate.
You have to. One of my favorite quotes ever was, "Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard."
Oh man, that's good. Say it again.
Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Man, we're going to end on that note, and that's it. Dave Conigliaro. Follow me on Twitter. It's going to be at the bottom of the screen. Gerald, where can they find you?
They can find me at Gerald D NWO on Twitter, or you can find me at thenewwealthorder.com, thenewwealthorder.com. That's how you can find me in the space that we like to call cyber.